Hey, it's Simon.
And this is Martina.
And we're broadcasting out of Kichijoji, Tokyo, Japan, the most apocalyptic part of the world.
Oh, are you being a little bit exaggerative because it's so hot, duga hot?
Yes, I told myself last year that I've learned how to accept heat. And I'm okay when it's hot outside, so long as it's not hot indoors. When it's hot indoors, that's when we need air conditioning to control it. Now it's really hot outside, and you know what? I was just lying. I'm very uncomfortable with this heat right now, and I've just been camping on the side. Every time I try to go outside, I hate it. So that's my life right now.
Okay. It's my
There's an update
life.
about how I'm feeling.
You're totally right, Ducky. This has been a really insane summer. I personally feel like in 12 years in Asia, this is the worst summer we've ever experienced.
Without a doubt, the worst.
It's a heat wave for sure. Every Japanese person, it's like, that's all that we talk about right now because you wake up in the morning, it's like 9 a.m., 10 a.m., it's already 35, feels like 45.
Yeah.
And it's basically like living in a rainforest. This is what I've been telling my friends because they go, oh my God, it's so hot in New York right now. It's hot in Toronto. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not like rainforest hot.
Right.
There's something about the humidity.
Dry heat versus wet heat, very different.
Oh, sneak peek. Well, not a peek, but just to sneak something.
Sneak speak.
Sneak speak. Sneaks us up. We're going to be doing a video about how to beat the heat.
Yes?
Yes, because we were like, this is awful.
We need
to tell people.
And so I think this kind of transitions into the topic we wanted to discuss.
Not at all.
Even though we were very uncomfortable and we should have spent this time hiding from the heat, we're like, what can we do to make a video out of this? And the topic that we want to discuss today is one that we've wanted to discuss for the past few months, but we've never known how. And I think we're just going to discuss it and see what other people think. And maybe we could come to our own conclusions as we discuss it. And that's workaholism.
And are we
workaholics? Workaholics? I'm not sure because I remember when we were discussing podcast topics, this topic came up on our day off. We had just finished publishing a video, right? And we had worked really late to get it online. And then the next day we're like, okay, today we're not going to work. I feel like I want to work though. Wait, no, we shouldn't work. We should do a podcast about it. No, wait, because podcast is work.
Wait a second, isn't a
Let
podcast
me sit
work?
down and write this down. Wait, writing down ideas for work is still work. So the question is, are we workaholics? I don't know.
So we've been discussing this for a while because we were at one point definitely too into work when we were in Korea.
Without a doubt.
So when we first had the Eat Your Kimchi studio, we spent so much time there. We've discussed this with you guys before where we would leave our house, we would take Spudgy and Memers, put them in the back of the car, we would drive to the studio. We were the first people in the studio.
Yeah.
We were the last people to leave the studio.
Yeah.
And by last, I mean 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m.
Yeah.
We would take turns sleeping. One person would be finishing the edit.
Yeah.
The animals were obviously already, they had their own kibble, they had their own what's it called, Memers had cat sand there, we had a double house basically,
essentially, yeah.
And one of us would be awake in the beanbag chair finishing the edit, the other person would be half asleep, then we'd wake that person up and that person would take over. It was crazy.
We drive home sleepy, the other person trying to keep the other person awake, which is extremely dangerous, by the way. Now that I read more about sleep deprivation, that wasn't a good idea.
No, I mean, luckily there was no one on the road between that time.
Sure.
So it was just a straight drive home, but it was still we'd get home, we'd sleep from let's say 6 a.m. until maybe 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And then we'd be up and driving back to the studio again. And so the reason why we use this as an example is because I think it's a benchmark moment where we can say, were we taking care of each other? No.
Right.
Were we taking care of our health?
Definitely
no.
not.
We were just eating delivery food. We were eating kimbap and ramen, whatever it is that we could eat. Anything you guys sent us, we were hoarding it in the kitchen so that we could eat
eating
that.
Yeah,
exactly. So it was a really, really intense time period. We weren't going to physio.
Nope.
I wasn't seeing a doctor. I wasn't looking at my
was barely
EDS.
working out. You know?
We were losing weight in an unhealthy way rather than a healthy way. And so then when we left Korea and we first came to Japan, we started to slowly make some changes in our life regarding taking care of ourselves.
Publishing fewer videos to start with. We used to publish 7 or 8 videos a week. Do you guys remember that? For those of you that were around that long, we used to publish that many videos a week. Now we're lucky if we get 1 video a week because we're busy doing other things like exercising, going to physios, and just trying to take days off away from our computers.
Which we don't do.
And
this is where we we bring it up again. And the reason I bring this up again is because we were discussing this where we said, well, what is the definition of a workaholic?
Yeah.
And when you look at it online, there is no real definition yet. It's kind of loose.
Yeah.
But the big thing they emphasize is that there tends to be neglect on like, intimacy or friends and family or health.
Yes.
But we don't do that. Like you work out 4 times a week.
Yes.
I go to physio once a week.
Right.
Religiously. Like I don't skip it. I go once a week or maybe twice if it's a really bad time period.
Yep.
I go to the doctor once a month. You get your beard trimmed.
On the days that like you're feeling very ill, we take those days off and we like use that as recovery days. Like, and we're okay with that. We're not like, we don't push through like your really sick days, right? We take care of your health at that time.
But here's the part that is confusing.
Yeah.
We say things like when I'm having a bad pain day that we take time off, right?
Yeah.
But when I have a bad pain day, I am not capable of, let's say, maybe filming a video or editing a video because maybe my wrist is off or something. But then I'll doodle on my iPad to try to think of some like cool designs that I want to share with you guys.
Right.
Or like, now's my chance to work on the Kichijoji shirt. Or so it's like we always find something that we can do related to work.
Yeah.
And the question is that bad?
I don't know because
I love it.
Like at the same time, like we're thinking about like our friends who have regular jobs, like 9 to 5 jobs. Like as soon as they're done their work, they go home and then they just don't do any more work. They just like watch whatever Netflix they want or they work on dinner. They don't answer emails. Like I wake up and I look at like YouTube comments and like we go to the bathroom and I like look at YouTube comments.
I read fan letters.
There's right. Like there's very little separation between our work and our lives. And I'm not sure if that's because like so much of our lives are in our work and we share that. Is that what is like a healthy balance? Because we always want to do stuff, because we always want to share content, is that just like a healthy desire to share? Or is that our workaholic tendencies? Because you and I discussed how we used to be before we met each other. And every single job that we had, we busted our asses. Like I worked at the mall a lot and I remember like going to the back rooms when nobody was there and tidying up the back rooms
even
for
when
them.
Someone didn't tell you to do something, right? We did the same thing.
And even they'd be like, well, why are you doing that? And I thought, why not? I'm getting paid. I'm here. I should try to like bring some value.
And time goes,
shit, almost knocked over the water.
Almost knocked over one everywhere. And time goes faster. Like it's enjoyable to, like when I was working at Starbucks or, All Fired Up.
Right.
If nobody came in customer wise, I'd be like, well, time to go through and organize these cupboards. Like,
right.
It wasn't like I had to be told to do these things. It just made sense to do something that would help your time go by.
Right.
Right. But the thing that I've been thinking of, and I remember having this discussion with another friend about this, I really enjoy editing.
Yeah.
I enjoy editing. I genuinely enjoy taking the footage that we have shot for you guys and thinking about how to make it funny or picking out new music or, like I spend so much time scrolling through music files to get the right feel and vibe. It's not frustrating or anger-nating to me.
No.
I love it. So if it's something that I love to do, why do I need to do less of it if I'm not neglecting anything else?
But isn't that the sign of addiction, right? Like you could just say like, I love alcohol, so why don't I just like drink it more?
Right, but alcohol, it can be poisonous. So it can create problems for your liver or it can create problems where you're not sober, you can't drive, you can't operate vehicles. Like I can operate a vehicle while editing.
Those are clear side effects of it, right? But like when it comes to workaholism, what are there any clear side effects? What are we doing? Like, is there anything that we're doing that's hurtful? Like back in the day, I remember when we were like had that crazy curry work schedule. We had a friend, and he's like, "You're the hardest working people like I know. You're always working." I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy. We're not always working. We're fine." We're in total denial
at the time
about it. We're just like, no, we're just doing it because like this is our thing, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't see that we were addicted at the time.
But see, okay.
We right?
Hang on. So to play devil's advocate as well, though, it was also a very weird time period where we were unsure of our life choices because now being a YouTuber, little kids are like, I want to be a YouTuber when I grow up because they see that you can have success in it. When we were doing it, it was like nobody was doing YouTube as a full-time career.
Right.
We had never met another full-time YouTuber at the time.
Right.
We had just quit a job that we spent 6 years to go to university to get. Like our Bachelor of Education, it was a real job to be a real teacher, and that was the rest of our life.
Right.
And we said,
and we threw away that career.
Hey, let's just toss that to the wind and hope that this YouTube thingamabob can. So I think that at the time period, there was a lot of fire under our butt because we really didn't know truly if it was going to work or not. And so we had to put full Simon and Martina capacity into it. We said we got to give it all of it that we got.
Yeah.
And if we had done that and it failed, then we would have said, okay, well, at least we gave it all we got.
Exactly.
But then at one point, it was fine. Everything was fine. And we should have started to pump the brakes and enjoy a little bit of the fact that we needed to have a day off to creatively be, renewed and stuff. And that's when I can say is the point that it was a problem. I remember the creative burnout stage. That was the issue to me. And you always hear people say things like, oh, if you're creative, you need to take time off in order to get more like creative juice. And I'm always like, that's so stupid. Like, why would I need to take time off? But there was a point where we had such a lack of sleep that we would be like, oh, we should do this skit today. And we would just be like,
what?
Like I couldn't write music as well. I wasn't drawing very well. There was stuff that was just like kind of running at 50% rather than 100% Martina.
Right. And I felt the same way. Now that I've been like very set on like getting 8 hours of sleep a night, for me, it's a lot easier to get 8 hours of sleep than you because you have pain that wakes you up.
Good luck, Martina.
Right? But like you still don't like force yourself to wake up as early as before. Like you'll take as much time as you need in bed. And I feel now like I don't feel any that drain. Like when I wake up in the morning, there are tons of things that I feel like I could shoot. While there was a bit of a burnout phase before when we weren't sleeping well and we were only throwing everything into work. So I think that's a good sign.
That's what I'm saying.
But that doesn't still answer the question of, are we addicted to work? Like, what does workaholism mean? And is it a bad thing to be addicted to your career? Is it a bad thing to really enjoy what you're doing and want to do it all the time?
I think the bad thing has to come when you have a negative side effect. That's what I believe. And when I look back on what happened in Korea, there were negative side effects. Like we didn't take care of our health. Near our last year in Korea or our second last year, we finally started to go to the gym.
Right.
We regularly, we would go to the gym after the studio. We had like everyone at the Ichi Kimchi studio was going to the gym. We were all like, none of this. We're all going to do the gym. Like we were forcing people, but we were all trying to get on a health kick. And we were trying to do more like healthy foods and trying to get into cooking more. And I think that was the kind of turn of like, okay, let's try to focus more on health as well. Remember we had the whole phrase, health before wealth
and loaf before both.
That's right, because I was really into making loaves at the time. So I was making like zucchini bread loaves. And so we made up this whole phrase, like we need to start focusing on this. And that's when I first started going to the doctor and really looking at my EDS seriously.
Right.
When I first started taking tramadol, was it? Which my first time I had opioids and then immediately was like,
never again.
Good. My stomach started bleeding. So that was tough. And then I had withdrawal. Like there was a lot of like stress, but we were starting to focus on health more at that point.
That's true.
And then by the time we made the move over to Japan, we have our bikes, so we don't have a car anymore. Right. Our Eat Your Kimchi mobile has turned into the Eat Your Kimchi Mo bike.
That works,
on our little bikes. We cook food. We rarely order takeout unless it's like a real day where we came back from a travel and we have nothing in the fridge.
We do a lot of cooking at home.
Like last night, I made us green and red lentils boiled with pasta, and I made homemade sauteed spinach with garlic and Parmesan and mushrooms, and then we tossed it all. It took me like an hour and a half, but that's okay, because if we were neglecting our health and saying we don't have time to cook, like we're only going to order in delivery, well, that would be an example, I believe, of workaholism taking a toll on right. But we paused and we said we're going to make good healthy food, and we don't stock our fridge super full, right? I remember we used to go to Costco in Korea,
buy in bulk,
and we would buy bulk so that we could cook faster and just more efficiently, like chicken breasts, like defrosting them and like cooking them.
We barely buy anything prepackaged ever. No. Like we don't have any like microwave meals. Like we just like make all of our stuff.
That's what I'm saying, right? So I really think that there has been a major focus and change. That doesn't mean that we don't love our jobs. So it's okay that I love editing, or that I think about drawing, or that I want to share things with you guys, that I want to make videos, as long as I'm not saying, well, I'm going to cancel my physio this week because we need to finish this video. Or I'm going to cancel going to the doctor this month, or you're not going to go get your beard shaved. Like you're not going to take care of yourself physically. That's a problem, don't you think?
So I agree. We've definitely taken steps towards being healthy. No, I'm not disagreeing with you there. The thing that I'm not sure about yet is, have we taken enough steps? Like, are we at a good balance now? That I'm not sure, because I don't know what the right balance is. Because when I look at people with 9-to-5s, I think that might be a decent balance. Like you have your like set hours of work, you have your weekends. People have clearly defined weekends. They have clearly defined schedules. I think schedules and routines are very helpful for people's circadian rhythms and for their like mental well-being and whatnot.
Nerd.
Look, I read a whole book on sleep, and it's very important.
What's the book? You share with everybody.
I think it's called Why We Sleep. And a guy did a TED Talk on it. He's like the foremost authority on like sleep science, and sleep is super important. More important than your diet, all right? For people that are worried about their diets, worry about getting 8 hours of sleep first.
Good luck, all of us. High school and middle school is set up against us. Like,
it definitely is. The like society is definitely set against people like sleep patterns, but that's a different story. So now we're taking care of our health and we're taking care of our sleep, but this like mental balance, right? Let me explain to you what I'm worried about.
I totally get it now, but explain it to everybody. Okay. I figured out what you're trying to say.
So like they're like on the days that we take off.
Ouchie, my elbow.
Like, you okay, love?
Oh, it just pinched a nerve.
Oh, sunshine.
Go for it. I'll just be in pain off camera.
On the days that we try to like take off of work, when I'm like, I'm not going to do any work related stuff today, I think to myself, okay, so what can I do? Right. And there were some days that I would say to myself, okay, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to like let whatever fancy tickles me, and I'll
whatever like, fancy tickles me.
So like, yeah, maybe I'll go to the store here. Maybe I'll like exercise. You try to flick my nipples. That's not part of the schedule.
Wait, I have a question.
Maybe play some video games.
Yes. I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
So you said that when we have a day off, you think to yourself, I'm not going to do anything work related.
Yes.
Right? What is it that why are you not trying to do something work? Like, what is it that you're saying to yourself? Like, because you don't enjoy it?
No, it's not because I don't enjoy it, because I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think to myself, I need to like mentally step away from work. I think having like a mental break from your career is important, because like that's kind of like your recharge. You step away, you do other things. I remember even phrasing it as like our R&D time, our research and development.
Oh, yes.
If you step away from like making your like whatever we're creating, if I could just do something completely unrelated, that might bring new ideas to the table. So I feel invigorated. That's why whenever we go on like vacation, like whenever we take January's off and we come back, I'm like, I can't wait to make videos. I want to say this.
Which, by the way, we always make a video anyway.
We make a video.
We go to Barcelona, we're like, we're not going to film the video this time. And then we're like, whoa, we got to show everybody how amazing it is.
It was so hard when we were in Copenhagen, those 2 days. Like after our Malmo shoot, we had 5 days of like hardcore shooting.
Yeah.
Then we had 2 days in Copenhagen, and I'm like, I want to film something, so but I can't, right? So we just published like a little bit of like some vlog clips for the Rainbow Ladder support team, but we shouldn't have. We should have just been like, we're going to take a step away and just enjoy. You see what I mean? Like that kind of pull is, I'm not sure if that's good. That's what I'm confused about. But it's the mental well-being of work that I don't have a clear answer. This is why this is why
we're talking about this, guys,
and then maybe other people listening can say like, nah, Simon, you're cool. Like, I don't know, right?
I guess the idea is that when we were in Copenhagen, we weren't anxious. We weren't like, we were really tired because what's up with Europe and its lack of air conditioning? Europe.
Come on, guys.
Come on. Even the air conditioning's like stuck at 23. You're like, that's not air conditioning. No. That's just like someone creeping up behind you and going, I want it to go to 18, y'all. Anyhow, we were really tired from pushing in the schedules.
Right.
But when I saw a beautiful bridge with a swan, anybody, even on vacation, would go, oh my gosh, look at that swan. And you would take a picture, you'd make a video, which is what I did. I didn't think to myself, I need to do this for work. I just thought, oh my God, it's so pretty.
Right?
And so I took that video and then in some of our videos, I was like, oh my gosh, Rainbow Ladder support team, like, you guys live here? Because I thought about how some of you guys live in Copenhagen. Yeah. And we ran into some of you nasties on the streets and you're like, I don't know, it's all right. And I'm like, shut your mouth. It's beautiful. Like, you don't know how beautiful it is. So to me, it was just kind of like, we think about sharing it like to our family. Yeah. I sent pictures to my mom. I sent pictures to my sister, to my friends, to Jackie, and we sent videos and pictures to you guys. I don't think of it as like a work thing. And I want to double advocate something here.
Okay.
Without mentioning the names of other YouTubers. We've clearly met tons of YouTubers in our lives.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. I want to tell you what I don't enjoy when it comes to what I see as workaholism.
Yes.
We go to parties sometimes, not like a house party, like a work event where you have to go and like meet people and you meet other YouTubers. At those events, you and I never vlog.
No.
We don't do vlog. Like we go, this is an event where I'm not bringing a camera, no pictures, nothing. I'm just going to meet people and connect and sincerely talk
in people's eyes, ask them questions about themselves. Yeah.
But we've seen plenty of YouTubers who have been doing stuff as long as we have.
Oh my God.
Well, but not just that. I don't want to like, you know, I'm just saying they can't disconnect from it. Like,
yes.
They can't, they're like, look at this food. Like, look at this thing. Look at that. And I'm like, dude, haven't you come to this thing like 5 times over?
You've been to many events before.
But they're acting like this is some like brand new thing. And I'm like, why don't you just like put the camera down and step away and make eye contact? Like, so
talk to people.
Right. So I think to me, that's the side of workaholism that that I think when people, they don't really enjoy what they're doing. Like you watch them turn their camera off and they're just like they look so different on and off camera. And maybe you guys have met people who are different on and off camera, but we're weirder.
Yeah. We're very similar. Like everyone that's met us says like we're very similar to how we are on camera. They're actually surprised that like we're similar to how because we've met lots of people that are like very enthused on camera and just suck in person. Like they're very drained, just like unhappy and bittered and whatnot, but like they put on a totally different persona for camera. And like that's a different topic I want to discuss.
But what I'm trying to say is that if for us, we're in Copenhagen on our time off and we're going, oh my gosh, I really want to share this salon with people. I'm not sharing it because I feel like I have to, or I'm being pushed, or like I have to do it for work. I'm doing it because I genuinely want to share something pretty, which anybody would want to do. But I don't want to show you some crappy food at a crappy party that's like just there because people have to eat and you think it's content. That to me is when someone is a workaholic and they're making things happen all the time only because they think it can make them money. Like they're putting out videos or like, here's what's happening, or you know, this is what's going on. Like for example, I've been in and out of the hospital a lot and I've had a lot of major emergencies and I'm not filming things inside of my hospital and sharing these things with people because it's a serious situation where I'm in a hospital and I'm really worried about something. But some people will be like, now's my chance to make a video about being in a hospital.
Here's a clickbait title of like, did I die?
Yeah. And
no, you published a video. Obviously you didn't die.
And so to me, that's like bridging over that, like that blur of like, dude, if you're in a hospital, put the camera down and take the time for yourself. And you don't need to share this with everybody.
But we did that before. Like when you busted your ankle in Korea.
But that was funny because I broke it dancing at a club.
Right.
I mean, saving a puppy in a fire. And we had to explain why.
Sure. Okay.
We changed episodes.
So that was an explanation of that, and that was a little bit of a funny
episode. And that's how food adventure programs for awesome people
started. But when we
started.
had like scary issues in which
like
we
I
went
had
to
a
hospital.
major heart problem recently, and
we
like
didn't,
no,
right?
So I'm saying I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Because to me it's like I have to take care for my health. I'm not going to be pulling out a camera because I think it would have been great. Probably would have gotten tons of views if I put a video up of me lying in a hospital bed with heart monitors on me. That would have been great. Simon's stressed out, sweat's pouring, text messages, and you know
the title will have a question mark at the end.
You know, like so. I just think that some people are their work, especially when it comes to YouTube, can consume them totally, like a blob that consumes their whole life, and they have no balance as to where they should draw the line and say that they're taking care of themselves. Right. But I feel like we did do that, and now we're not doing that anymore.
Okay,
that's what I think.
All right, I'm not fully convinced yet.
You're not convinced yet?
I still feel like on the days that I do take off of work, I still feel the need to be productive. I still have to make a list for myself, be like, I'm going to work out today, I'm going to do the laundry today, I'm going to do this today. I feel like I always have to do something. I'm never bored. I feel uncomfortable when I have nothing to do. And is that an issue? I don't know.
But what you just said about making that list about things to do, you didn't include things for work. I know that you have to always be productive, and so do I. Yeah. But the difference is it doesn't have to always be work related. You'll be like, today I don't have anything to do, which means I'm going to do the things that I didn't get a chance to do. Because there's always stuff to do. Like I have to vacuum this carpet today, which means
today's the day. It's happening. Carpet. And we've avoided it for too long.
I'm not saying we don't vacuum our carpet. I'm saying I'm going to actually like roll the carpet up completely, like vacuum underneath it, shake it outside. Like it's going to be kind of like a spring cleaning day today. That's something you can't do when you have other things to do.
That's not something you should do in 45-degree weather.
I know, but what am I supposed to do? I'm sneezing.
You're such a sneeze cake.
Because Nemers is shedding so much and there's dander everywhere.
So I'd like to know, like, because time's pretty much up now. I'd like to know what you think about this. Any other opinions you have on the matter? You and I have discussed this a lot. We haven't really discussed this with other people. So you let us know what you think. Are we like? I definitely think we're doing better. Are we on the right path? Are we still workaholics? Is it because of our career that like the line is blurred? Or maybe just like call us out. Maybe like, nah, Simon Martina, you need to chill out. Like, I don't know.
But what does chilled out mean is what I'm saying. Like if you have a day off, am I supposed to just literally sit down and do nothing?
I don't know.
Like I don't want to sit.
I got a butt rash this week because it was so hot out that my butt rashed like a baby.
I can't sit down and do nothing. Yeah. I don't want to sit down and do nothing. If I have the energy, if I have the spoons, then I want to trim the garden, or I want to get a new plant, or I want to learn a new skill.
Well, I want to edit and upload this podcast as soon as I can.
I love doing it.
This is probably going to go up within like a couple hours of us pressing stop button. So
you said breasting.
I know my words, like instead of chilled out, I try to say chill out, but I'm just,
it's because he didn't have breakfast. When Simon doesn't have breakfast, he's trying to do his fasting thing.
My intermittent fasting. Yes, I have to work on my diet at the same time.
Yeah, and a really funny thing is that last night we had our like delicious lentil pasta meal and some chocolate and had some wine, and we did that all while watching
the CrossFit Championships. Oh my God! Look at the abs on that person. Whoa!
They are so buff. More wine.
Is the wine empty? Another.
I feel so healthy just watching them. Anyways, and if you're interested in this topic a little bit more, maybe we will unpack it more because there's just so much to go.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks, guys. I'm gonna go roll up the carpet, vacuum.
I'm gonna go work on kissing my cat's stomach right now.
Make a loaf of bread, make some coconut.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm not a workaholic. What do you mean? Are you a workaholic? I'm not a workaholic.
Dye my hair.
I'm totally fine. Okay, see you later, guys. We're
gonna be in Shizuoka on Thursday for work.
Today's our day before our big video shoot.
Okay, love you guys. Bye.